I just want to invite you to get a pen and paper and get ready to take some notes, or your keyboard and type some notes. But get ready, because what I'm about to share with you is something that has taken me maybe longer than it should have to understand how to discover the ultimate Christian podcast strategy and YouTube marketing plan. And this does not just have to do with a strategy and a marketing plan for podcasting and for YouTube, but the amazing thing is how these two actually work together. So that's what I want to share with you in this session. So let's dive in. First off, let's talk podcast and podcast marketing, which is my jam. So I've been doing podcasting for somewhere around 8 years. I think I would have to go back and technically look when my first podcast launched, because I have two. And I really love it. But even more than how amazing it has been in the journey of learning how to podcast is the benefits podcast has given me in levels of growth in my confidence, in my speaking, in my building of my businesses, and the amazing marketing techniques that I have learned with podcasting that are absolutely free. So that is one of the things, and it's not just free, because usually you think if something's free, then how can it have value? But the value to marketing via podcasting is amazing. And so is the value of YouTube. But we'll get into that next. So first, let's talk marketing and podcasting. So I don't know if you have a podcast. If you do, I'm going to talk to you first. And then after that, I'll talk to those of you who don't yet have a podcast. So if you have a podcast, then one of the best things you can do is also have a YouTube channel. And I'm going to dive deeper into this in another episode to show you more about launching your YouTube channel, because obviously I'm learning how to do that right now as well. And I've been learning the ins and outs of it, and it's just kind of been blowing my mind. And I wish I would have learned this sooner. But that's why I want to share this now, because you can learn this now with me. And let's not wait. I wish I wouldn't have waited. I wish I stayed away from YouTube for so long, because I just was already overwhelmed with the social media platforms I already had, which was Facebook and Instagram. And the thought of just taking on another YouTube or another social media platform was exhausting to me. But I also was really focused on producing my podcast content. And I didn't realize, nobody told me, and I had not run into any videos that told me, the power and the value of having a YouTube channel while podcasting. And you want both at the same time. And honestly, unless you already have a really big following on Instagram or Facebook, I would personally say ditch all your time and attention with Instagram and Facebook and put it all into YouTube and your podcast. If anybody does that, they're going to exceed at an accelerated rate. And I keep saying this, and I'll keep saying this. I wish I would have done it a long time ago. But what I want to show you is something really cool that I've been working on. So I am currently living in Texas, and I have a collaboration with another amazing sister in the Lord where we're doing something together, and we're launching these live in-person 30-day accelerators, and we're helping women launch podcasts in 30 days. And we're doing it every month. Every month we have a new accelerator. But it's really amazing. And it's really amazing working with people and learning what their vision is, what their message is, and what their purpose is that God has called them to, and helping them grow it in a way that can eventually be monetized and beneficial to them as well as those that they're serving. So I've had a lot of people ask me about the 30-day launch accelerator here in Texas who don't have access to coming to Texas right now. So what I've done, and this is still a little bit in the works, it's almost finished, but I've been creating a course on how to launch your podcast in 30 days so that you can do it with me virtually. So if you don't have a podcast, we're going to jump into that for a second. If you don't have a podcast, then this is a great place to come and sign up for access to this. And I'll drop a link below, and sign up for access to this accelerator program, which the virtual one, you can jump in anytime, because the way it's going to go is there's a course that you can take at your own pace for your 30-day set, but you can set your schedule of how and when you're going to take that. In the in-person one, of course, you have to show up at a certain day and at a certain time and for a certain amount of time. Though that is good, I would recommend you do that yourself in this accelerator version, because then once a week you're going to get on with me for 4 weeks in a virtual coaching session. And I'm going to walk you through this stuff. I'm going to troubleshoot things with you. I'm going to help you with it, like a done with you kind of support system. And the reason I've done it this way, and the reason we're doing even the live one and in person with people, is because I have talked about podcasting since I've been doing podcasting, how amazing it is, how awesome. And I hear so many women saying, oh, I would love to do that too. Yeah, I have this idea for a podcast and it's so amazing. And then months go by, and then years go by. And then I talk to that person again. And oh yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it someday. And they still haven't done it. And I totally get it, because when I was first about to launch my podcast, I had those same hesitations. And honestly, I think it took me about a year before I launched my podcast, only because I thought I was a perfectionist and I thought I had to have certain things a certain way and I was going to do it better than everybody else. Of course, I'm not going to have those goofy first episodes that everybody was like, just do it. And you're going to have the goofy first episodes and just do it. That's the best way you're going to learn. I just kept hesitating because I thought, no, I'm going to learn now and then I'm going to do really well when I do it. But honestly, you have to do it. And then you learn as you go. And that is the best way to do it. And shocker, shocker, they were right. So I just want to encourage you. This accelerator is amazing. It's an amazing investment, because not only are you going to have a podcast in 30 days that's launched, but you have a community of support. I feel like this is something that people talk about a lot, and so they've kind of watered it down. But in the reality, we need community for everything that we do. Think about any lessons or classes or anything you're trying to learn in the real life, like in the realm of the world, in what you want to do. Even if it's a crochet class or something like that, you will excel at an accelerated rate if you're in a room full of other people who are doing it, who can give you different perspective, who can speak in to you from where they're at, which is in advanced stages than you. And so you learn better. The other thing is, anything entrepreneurial is kind of lonely. So that's another benefit of having this community and a coach and others who are doing it with you. And you have the accountability. So you have others who will help hold you accountable to what your goals are. And we actually talk about that in the coaching sessions, which is what we're going to do. Part of what we're going to do is have each of you connect with another partner, and you hold each other accountable to your weekly goals. And then this accelerator grows so fast. In 30 days, you have a launched podcast. And then what? Then you need to grow and you need to monetize. All right, so I just want to show you real quick. When you jump into this this is the inside of the course. It's not very long. I think it's only a few hours long max for the whole course. Maybe that's not counting a few of the tutorials that are going to be added in here. They're getting added in right now. But module 1, you're going to really focus in that first lesson on who you're serving, who you're speaking to in your podcast, what your message is, what's your promise, what problem are you solving. Even if you're just talking to people about a specific topic, you're always solving a problem in some sense. Everything is very story in our human existence. So you'll have a beginning, a middle, and an end to your episodes. And when you understand these foundational things, then that will really help you get clarity from the start. And that's one of the most valuable things in launching your podcast, is having that clarity from the start. And then you're going to go into brand, identity, and voice. So we're really going to build out your brand. And then we're going to go into your options for planning your podcast episodes. Module 2, we're going to go over equipment, tech, platforms, all that kind of fun stuff. And it's actually really, really simple. And I have a simple format in there, so it's not complicated. Don't worry about that. And then we're going to jump into recordings and guests and how that works, and editing your podcast. Module 3 is pre-launch and batching, choosing a podcast hosting platform, promoting your podcast, which goes into marketing. When you finish that, it will unlock the bonus section, which will be monetizing your podcast. And YouTube is included in some of these trainings because it is really valuable and important to know and understand that. This is going to be the section where your tutorials and walkthroughs are getting loaded into right now. And I have a really focused mini course that's also included inside of here. That is your bonus Kingdom MVP course. And that stands for your message, your voice, and your platform. The more fine-tuned we are with our message, the more confident we are in our voice, the more specific we are with our platforms, the more accelerated our growth will be in anything that we want to do. I know, because I learned the really hard way of spending many, many years doing what so many of us do, because we have so many ideas and we jump from this idea to this idea to this idea, from this platform to this platform to this platform. And it's not that all those ideas are bad. It's just that we're trying to implement them all at the same time, which is not good. So we want to focus on one thing and be excellent at it. And sometimes we don't know where to go with social media and with marketing. And so we kind of dabble in multiple places all at once, which spreads us thin and stretches us out and stresses us out. And so this is what I want to talk about. This is the whole point of all of this, is to get to this concept right here. When we do podcasting and YouTube together, then we have something really special. And so I'm going to touch on YouTube marketing right now, and then we're going to jump into the merge. So marketing on YouTube, what I mean when I say that is not buying ads. It's actually absolutely free. And it's monetizing your YouTube channel. And that is something I wish I would have learned so long ago. Hopefully you're watching this at the start of whatever you're doing, because then you're going to have such a big heads up and foot up on so many of us. Because YouTube right now is working really diligently with their algorithms and the way they've set everything up to make it amazing and simple as possible to make money on YouTube. So I'm taking you to my YouTube channel right now, which is very small because I'm just starting out. I only have 139 subscribers, which honestly, that has grown from like 40 subscribers to that in the past month and a half, because I did what I'm about to show you. But it's also going to grow more than that over time. And I know that because I'm following what they're telling me to follow for the algorithms to grow my channel. First, what we're going to do is we're going to this image of my headshot up here in the top right. We're going to click on that, and we're going to go into what's called YouTube Studios. Now, once we go into YouTube Studios, we're going to go over to Earn. And YouTube Studios is amazing. It shows you stats for everything. I mean, you literally can tell if you have more female or male following on your channel. You can tell where they're coming from, what videos they watched before they even watched yours. So what videos are leading them to watch your video. It's just mind-blowing, the stats. And this is all free, people. So you come to this area in YouTube that I just showed you. You come down to where it says Earn. You click on there and you scroll down. And so the top eligibility, I don't really follow because it's really just talking about if you get the top eligibility, then you get access to, like, if you're going live. If you go live a lot, that's good. You want that access because then you can get the thing where people will buy stickers or something like that and they'll pay you like certain amounts of money for it. But you have to have a big following to have that. So it's kind of pointless for beginners. So you want to come down to the second one. This is the one you want to look at. So I only have 139 subscribers. I need 1,000 to qualify to be monetized as a YouTube channel. I have 1,291 public watch hours. I need 4,000. So, you know, getting there. I've been doing this also since April, and I have not been as consistent as I need to be. And I know I've heard so many stories on YouTube, be consistent, be consistent. So I know I need to get better. And so I'm working on my habits, my schedules, and my content creation time to get that rhythm to be more consistent, because that's what the algorithms really like. And then you can also grow your channel if in 90 days you can get 10 million views on shorts. And I will say shorts grow really fast. So if you can see, you can't even see blue on my mark because that has to go to 10 million with shorts. But I do have 6.2 thousand views on my shorts, which is way more than my videos. So that tells you shorts do grow faster. Also, it just takes one viral short and you can go to 10 million. So there's that. So that's always an opportunity that's there as well. But realistically, overall, you want this, and you want to create videos that average around at least 20 minutes or so, because you don't want to do longer videos if you don't have content to talk about, because then you're just going to talk about nonsensical stuff that's not going to serve anyone well. But you do want the video length to some extent, because when YouTube monetizes you, they're going to put commercials on your marketing on your videos. And when they do that, if your video is long enough, they'll add 2 commercials per video, and that's more income for you. So how do they monetize you? What do you do? So what happens is, because the algorithms have positioned you before the right target audience, now YouTube is going to target your videos with specific marketing and commercials, so to speak. So now every time they launch, once you're monetized, every time they launch, you get paid a certain percentage of every commercial that launches, depending on the number of views that you get. Every certain number of views, you get paid such and such amount of money. Now, I'm going to show you this other lady's video where she just explains a lot of this really good, because she's just recently monetized, and it's really cool seeing how the growth worked for her and her process, and it's really encouraging even for me. But I want to share this with you as well, so let's jump into this. Okay, so her name is Sierra Brown Stewart, and she is new to YouTube relatively, and she's about to tell us all about that. So let's jump in.
So first of all, there are 2 criteria to getting monetized, which if you're new to YouTube, you didn't know anything about this. I sure didn't, so I was looking into it. And the 2 criteria are you have to have 4,000 public watch hours in a 365-day period. So if you posted a video a couple years ago and it's still getting some traction, that doesn't count. If you posted an unlisted video, that doesn't count.
You also can earn your watch hours through shorts views, and it takes 10 million shorts views in the last 90 days.
Straightforward, it's 1,000 subscribers. When you hit both of those criteria, 4,000 watch hours in the last calendar year and 1,000 subscribers, you become eligible for what's called the YouTube Partner Program. Once you're part of the Partner Program, you will actually start to earn money from ads that run during your videos. Now, prior to being part of the YouTube Partner Program, YouTube can choose to add ads to your videos and not compensate you. And if you post video that you don't have the rights to, the owners of that content may earn money from those ads that run during a video you uploaded. Now, what's interesting for me, and we'll get into it when I go through my process, is it took me longer to get the watch hours than it did to get the subscribers. And from watching videos like this in the past, it seems like the opposite is mostly true, that it's easier to get the watch hours than the subscribers, but everyone's got their own journey. Once you realize both qualifications, you will be invited to be part of the YouTube Partner Program, which I was pretty excited when that happened, actually. Once you become eligible, you'll have to set up an account with Google AdSense. So you'll have to do that using your Gmail account. There are a few steps that go into setting up your Google AdSense account. And so I've heard you can actually do that in advance of being invited to the partner program, which may be a smart idea if you want to get ahead of the game. But one of them is an identity confirmation. And so they will mail you in the US mail a PIN that you then have to enter into your account. And that takes a couple of weeks, if I recall, to get that mailed piece in my USPS mail. And then the other thing, of course, for the direct deposit verification, they do put a dollar amount that's undisclosed at the time of deposit into your account. You have to watch for it. And then a couple days later, tell them the amount so they can verify your direct deposit is set up correctly. So there are a few steps like that where they're verifying who you are and that you have that banking access, etc. So there are a few steps to go through, but I was totally fine with it because I'm like, okay, this feels legit.
So Sierra explains that really well. And one of the other things you need to remember to do is remember how I showed you how to go to the earn section on YouTube once you have your channel. Then what you want to do is there's actually a button, which I no longer really have because I hit the button. But you hit this button that says activate. It says something like activate earnings or activate access to earn or something like that. And that's what starts your 365 days to monetize. So as soon as you hit that button, you have 365 days to hit the goals of what she just showed in her video. So just for a little bit of encouragement with her, I'm going to let her share how much she finally got paid when she got paid on YouTube. But I will say there's another lady that I really got inspired by originally, and her name is Silver and Solo on YouTube. This is Silver and Solo's channel, and I just want to show you her because she's someone really cool to check out. And the reason I was really inspired by her journey to monetization on YouTube was because she's older. And not that there's anything more difficult about being older, but it's amazing because she didn't know all the technology that a lot of the younger generation who succeed on YouTube already know because they grew up with it. But she learned it really fast and was able to pick up on it. And that just is really encouraging to anybody because if she can do it, then so can we, right? So that's why I want you to check her out. And also because, not because whatever your age is, a lot of her videos may not be relevant to you, but she does share her monetization journey on YouTube. And so I would encourage you to go find those videos and check them out because she explains things really well. And she didn't have any budget or any fancy cameras or lights or anything when she started her YouTube channel and to her monetization goals. And after she got monetized, I think her first month, which I think, if I remember correctly, was May of this year, 2024, she made, I think, $2,000 in her first monetized month. So that can be really encouraging. So now let's jump into Sierra's video and see how she did. Let's see how much
drum roll
money
please.
she made.
How much did I make my very first month of being monetized on YouTube? $470.38. So that was my first 30 days of being monetized, not my first calendar month. My first calendar month, I only was monetized halfway through the month, and it was $184. And that's what I'll be paid out on, minus taxes. I haven't gotten it yet, but I also haven't gotten an invitation to meet someone at a train station. So I'm hoping it's gonna come. And because I've had no outlay of expenses for YouTube, this is pure profit.
Whether you have a business or a ministry, YouTube can be a really lucrative place to make income to support your business and your ministry. So that's really why it's important and why I want to encourage you and show you this, not including the fact that the merging of your podcast and YouTube can work together as well. So depending on what platform hosting site you launch your podcast from, mine is Libsyn, it can connect you to YouTube so that every time your episodes are pre-launched and then they go out to all their podcast platforms, one of the places they also go is YouTube. So if you're monetizing, then that's putting out some content for you on a regular basis too, especially if you're putting out one episode a week in your podcast to YouTube merge. Another tip I want to give you for YouTube is check out Think Media. This site is really incredible. This guy is a believer, so that's really awesome too for all of us Christian content creators. But he really posts a lot of amazing information on building your YouTube channel and monetizing it. So I would highly encourage you to subscribe to him and follow his videos and trainings. So I think you should be, at this point, getting a clue of how awesome it is to merge these two platforms of podcasting and YouTube. Because in your podcast, you're going to be talking about whatever your main topic is for your main audience. YouTube, you can be doing the same thing. So you can be growing them in two different places, but also merging them together. The amazing thing as well is that you can monetize your YouTube channel and get paid for putting this content out, which can also draw traffic to your podcast. And then when you monetize your podcast, which you'll learn how to do in our podcast 30-day launch accelerator program, then both of these platforms will be monetizing for you, and that's not counting whatever your offers may be. So depending on if you're merging your business and your message with a business, then you also have the ability to share your offers on YouTube, in your videos, in the links, in your podcast, in the show notes, and in the video, in the audios. So it's just so much cross marketing in that way. And then another way to cross market and merge these two super platforms is by your guests. So if you're doing a podcast that is audio only, and then you are doing different episodes that are for your YouTube, which you can totally do, and which is kind of where I'm starting at right now with how I'm doing it, because my podcast is audio only right now, then that's a great way to do that and have different guests on for different, some guests like to be on an audio, no video platform with you, and then some guests like to be or don't mind being on the video platform of YouTube. But another way to do that, and this is what I'm working on merging into, is you just do your YouTube and other content creation on a video-based platform. Then you take the audio, you put it on your podcast, and then you have the YouTube content. So you're repurposing it for both those super platforms. And the beautiful thing with this super platform merge as well is that all age groups get on YouTube. It's not a limited like TikTok or maybe even Snapchat or Instagram where it's a younger general demographic, but you have like a larger span of ages that are on these platforms. And then podcasting as well. Podcasting is growing in leaps and bounds, and the age groups that are listening are more and more widespread. One more tip, I also love to use vidIQ as a place to go to put all my content creation in for my YouTube. And I've been using that just for the past month, and it has helped me a lot in coming up with the titles that will work best with the algorithms, and coming up with content creation ideas, and knowing what my competition is in the sense of who's talking on relative topics of the same area of what you're, like genre of what you're talking about. And it gives you just tons of feedback that is really valuable. And I will also post a link. I have an affiliate link for that. I'll post it below as well. In closing, I hope this has helped you. I hope it's encouraged you. I hope it's given you some good ideas. And I just want to share that you don't need to be overwhelmed with so many social media platforms like I have been. I mean, honestly, I have had two mostly in my life, and that's been Facebook and Instagram. And I know there are ways to work those platforms, but I have worked on them for so many years and they just have not been good to me. But in the shortest amount of time, just a couple months, YouTube has been so much better than either one of those. And then podcasting has been so much better than Instagram or Facebook has been to me. So that's why I just think these two platforms, podcasting and YouTube, are super platforms no matter who your audience is, old or young. And both of them are able to be monetized. Both of them you can share your monetized offers on. It just is an amazing setup for multiple streams of income growth.